Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. And yes, I'm still here. If you were expecting this episode to drop first thing Monday morning like usual, it didn't last week. For the first time in 15 weeks, I missed that mark. The episode did not air on time. But maybe that's exactly what needed to happen, because this episode is called The Comeback, and it's not just a title, it's the truth of where I am right now. This isn't an episode from a perfect place. This is from the messy middle, from a tired body, a full life, and a soul that is trying to breathe again. And maybe that's exactly the message you need to hear right now. So that's what we're talking about today, the comeback, what it looks like, what it feels like, and how to take that first step when you've been feeling off track. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And if you've been feeling tired, stuck, or just not feeling like yourself lately, this one is for you. Let's be real. Sometimes life pulls you out of rhythm. Maybe it's work, travel, stress, family, or just a wave of exhaustion you did not see coming. And honestly, I did not plan for this delay. I've been recording and publishing every Monday for the past 15 weeks. I was proud of that streak. It gave me structure, purpose, and momentum. But this past week, I couldn't get the episode recorded in time. Not because I didn't care, but because I was drained physically, mentally, and emotionally. See, after returning from a deeply meaningful medical mission in Syria, one of the most fulfilling things I've done, I jumped straight into work. Long days, procedures, calls, catching up on cases. Zero transition, no time to reset. And I felt it hard. I lost my rhythm. I stopped running. I stopped cycling. My morning routines disappeared. I wasn't showing up the way I wanted to at home either. I was more reactive, less patient. And through all of that, I stayed quiet. Because I did not want to record just for the sake of putting out noise. I wanted to speak from a real place. And that's what I'm doing right now. Then came that moment. I told myself, I want to feel alive again. I don't want to stay in that drained, stuck state. I'm not ready to give up on who I am. So I did something small but powerful. I jumped onto my indoor bike, opened Zwift, told myself, just move for 30 minutes. No pressure, no need to prove anything. 1 hour later, I finished that ride with a green sprint jersey. And you know what? That ride reminded me I'm still here, still strong, still capable, still the director of my story. And that was my comeback moment. Not a grand cinematic movement, but a quiet decision to move. And sometimes that's how we come back to life. One pedal stroke, one breath, one intentional act. And that's what a comeback sometimes looks like. It's not always loud, sometimes it's quiet, simple, almost unnoticeable to others. But you feel it. That flicker of energy, that shift in mindset, that moment where you realize you don't have to stay where you are. And here is what I've learned, and I want to say it clearly today. Setbacks are part of the rhythm. Even people who looked motivated, driven, consistent, they go through it. They fall off track. They feel stuck sometimes. They wonder if they lost it too. But the difference isn't that they never fall, it's that they don't quit. And I want you to know this. You don't have to feel ready to come back. You just have to care enough to try again. Even if you start tired, even if it's awkward, even if you don't feel like your best self, the moment you choose to move again, to do something aligned with who you want to be, you are already coming back. And this was a great lesson for me, because for a while, I had a great streak of being high performer. I had great morning routines, and I did not realize that I could have a setback. I thought to myself that I had great habits and great discipline, and that I was immune to be falling off track. But this last 2 weeks was kind of like a wake-up call for me, that I'm actually human and I can have a fallback. It was a sobering moment that made me realize I'm not the perfect person who never fails. I'm like every other human. I fall, I get discouraged, I lose rhythm, and sometimes I scroll too much. I sometimes compare. I sometimes don't show up the way I want to. But here is the difference. I did not declare defeat. As long as I have breath in my lungs, I will come back. And that's what I want this platform to be, a place where we don't pretend, where growth is honest, where we don't wait to be better before we speak. We speak through the journey. So, if you've felt tired, low, or even ashamed of sleeping lately, this episode is for you. You're not alone, and more importantly, you're not done. The comeback does not require perfection. It does not require a 5 a.m. miracle routine or 10 habits stacked in a perfect row. It requires one thing, a decision. A decision to stop spiraling and start moving. A decision to say, this isn't the end, this is the turning point. For me, that bike ride I did last week was the spark. And right alongside it, I started my Chicago Marathon training plan. And what I love about having a plan is that it's there waiting for me on the calendar, no matter how I feel. Day 1 felt amazing. I ran, I felt strong. But day 2, I was kind of exhausted in the morning. I did not get up early, and it was also raining. But I did not throw the whole thing away. I adjusted. I ran after work. I stayed in it. And that's the real key. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed. Not committed to flawless performance, but committed to returning again and again. And that's how we stay in the game. That's how we build momentum. And that's how we realign with our purpose. So if you've been feeling off lately, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, I want to talk to you directly. This is not your breaking point. This is not your finish line. This is your re-entry point. You don't need to overhaul your whole life today. You just need one win, one breath of fresh air, one walk, one journal entry, one workout, one choice that says, I'm not giving up on myself. And if no one else has told you this recently, let me be the one to say, you still got this, you still matter, and your next chapter is waiting to be written. You don't need to get it all together, you just need to take one small step toward your comeback. So, if you haven't moved lately, move. If you haven't prayed, pray. If you haven't journaled, write one honest line. If you haven't exercised, go for a short walk. And remember what I told myself. I still got this. I'm still the director of my show. And the last chapter does not define me. And you still got this too. Thank you for being here today, even when the episode was late. Thank you for listening, not just when things are polished, but when they're real. This comeback episode isn't about the hype, it's about the hope. And I hope it gave you the nudge you needed to take back your own momentum. Every habit you build, every effort you make, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow. And if you liked this episode, please share it with people around you, because we don't grow alone, we grow better together. Until next time, stay alive, stay present, and keep writing your next chapter.